Flashbackers, this is Flashback Comics New Release Wednesday for July 31st, 2013. And I know what you want, what you're here for, the new release books. Let's get right to it. Here we go. We have, from Marvel Comics, Guardians of the Galaxy, number 5. And we also have a great variant cover right above that as well. Continuing on, we have Captain Midnight, number 1 from Dark Horse Comics. Going on to Batman, number 1 Director's Cut from DC. Bionic Man, number 22 from Dynamite. Captain Marvel, number 14. Tom Strong and the Planet of Peril, number 1 from Vertigo. The Wake, number 3 from Vertigo. Doctor Who, Prisoners of Time, number 7 from IDW. Journey, number 4. And we have a great variant cover to go along with that as well from Aspen Comics. Trinity of Sin, Pandora, number 2. Uncanny X-Force, number 9. And actually we have another great variant cover. We have 3 great variant covers from Aspen for Journey, number 4. Moving on to Marvel's Wolverine in the Flesh, number 1, one-shot. Bedlam, issue number 8 from Image. X-Men, number 3. Batman Incorporated, number 13. Red Lanterns, number 22 from DC. Judge Dredd, number 4. King Conan, number 3 from Dark Horse. Sonic the Hedgehog, part 12 of the Worlds Collide storyline, and that's issue number 251. Morning Glories, issue 29 from Image Comics. BPRD Vampire, number 5, winding down that series from Dark Horse. Smallville, season 11, special, issue number 2 from DC. Archie Comics, number 646, and we have a great variant cover to go along with that, mimicking some of those old science fantasy books from back in the 60s, 70s. Ultimate Comics The Ultimates, number 28, part of the Disassembled storyline. We have 2 great variant covers for IDW's Transformers number 19, Transformers More Than Meets the Eyes series. Check that out. And from IDW, we have 2 great variant covers, cover A and B for G.I. Joe number 6. I think that's CoverGirl being spotlighted in that particular issue. From DC Comics, we have Batman Detective Comics Annual number 2. Moving on to Executive Assistant Assassins number 13 from Aspen. And from Zenescope, we have Grimm Fairy Tales, Werewolves the Hunger. We have issue number 3 with 3 great variant covers for that particular issue. Check that out. Zenescope putting out the variant covers for that. And moving on to another great title of theirs, Grimm Universe. And we have 3 great variant covers for that particular issue as well. Check them out. Moving on to Marvel Comics Fearless Defenders. Another great cover by Mark Brooks on that particular issue. Love that one. 3 Guns, issue 1 from Boom Studios. Check out the new film starring Mark Wahlberg and Denzel Washington, 2 Guns. Coming out this Friday. From DC Comics, we have Injustice Gods Among Us, number 7. We have What If AVX, number 4 from Marvel. Moving on to Sex, issue number 5. And to Animal Man, annual number 2. Jim Balance, Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose from Broadsword. And let me get a shout out to Connor out there, part of our family. That cover deserves a big Gotta love that one. Adventures of Superman, number 3 from DC Comics. Clive Barker's New Testament, number 3 from Boom. Indestructible Hulk, issue number 11. Check that out. Gotta love that great new cover. Great new costume from Hulk on that one. Check it out. Moving on, we have FF number 10 from Marvel. The Flash Annual number 2. G.I. Joe number 192, A Real American Hero from IDW. 5 Ghosts number 5, winding down on that from Image Comics. Superman number 2. Uber number 4. Collider, number 1 from Vertigo. Daredevil, number 29. House of Gold and Bones, issue 4 from Dark Horse, winding down that particular series. Absolution Rubicon from Avatar, number 2. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, number 24, and we have 2 great variant covers for that particular issue. Gotta love Splinter on that one from Santa Lucia. We have Venom, number 38 from Marvel Comics. Superboy, number 22. Adventure Time, 2013 Summer Special, issue number 1. Batman number 2. Batman Annual number 2 from DC Comics. Moving on to 2 great variant covers for My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, issue number 9. Check that out for all you bronies out there. Executive Assistant Assassins number 13. We actually have 2 great variant covers for that. Since we covered that earlier, we just didn't have them both together. Check that out from Aspen. Moving on to Uncanny X-Men Marvel Comics, issue number 9. X-Men Legacy number 14. That's all of our great new release books this week. And we have some great trades in. Check them out. We have Marvel Masterworks Golden Age, Marvel Comics Volume 2. Moving down to Volume 3. Then we have Volume 6. So all these particular books, if you're looking for them, we have them here in store. Get you back up on those classic issues that created the Marvel Universe. We have Volume 6 to moving on to Golden Age Captain America Volume 5. Onward to Golden Age USA Comics Volume 2. Right on down to Volume 1. And then winding up with Marvel Comics Golden Age Volume 3. And last but not least, for all you zombie fans, all you Walking Dead fans, we have this amazing previews exclusive toy figure for Series 2 that features the Governor, everybody's favorite, and his zombie daughter, Penny Blake. Really sweet. I love the black and white gray tones that are going on this particular toy. It has the nice aquarium there where you can put all the zombie heads in if you love that part within the comic book. I know I love it, and I love that they included that in the Walking Dead television show. I think this one's going to go home with me tonight, but we have a lot of great... we have a number of these here in the store, so come down to Flashback. We'll have them available for you. It's pretty sweet. I'm a zombie fan. But, as you know, I can't do this alone. As we do every week, I have my buddy. Let's bring him in. His name is Troy David Phillips. What's going on, sir?
Yeah, I'm just knocking everything down.
Messing up the books, man.
I'm getting all kinds of crazy. Patrick, there's a lot of stuff to cover. I'm all excited. Yeah, I saw Pacific Rim this weekend.
You saw Pacific Rim? What'd you think, buddy?
Oh my God, the robot monster bashing, the stomping. It was crazy. It was crazy good.
Enough nods to fans of kaiju and anime. It was like, to me, anime and manga brought to life, man. I think they did an excellent job.
The best thing about this movie was I went to see it with my wife, and she actually enjoyed it. So there you are. My wife enjoyed this film. There's a story.
That says a lot.
There are characters.
For us fanboys with wives that aren't exactly into it, when you bring them along with it, where they say they're humoring us.
Right.
And then they actually say, oh, honey, I really enjoyed this. I dig it. So it's actually, all right. See, I'm not as big as a nerd as you think I am.
Well, yeah,
cool
exactly.
Stuff. And even if I am a nerd, what's wrong with it anyway? See, you enjoyed it. It's cool. It has everything. It has your romance, your drama, your love. Everything's in there.
It was. It's very much. It's a character-driven story. There is a lot of action. The robots are incredibly awesome. The monsters are cool. The destruction is just off the chart. So yeah, it's not just a cartoony, old school, 1970s Godzilla. This is definitely something.
Some good stuff.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
bodes well for the upcoming Godzilla film.
I certainly hope so, because Godzilla has got to be done right.
Got to be done right.
I can honestly say I've not been happy with any treatment of Godzilla that wasn't done in Japan.
Yeah, so you didn't really care too much for the Matthew Broderick Godzilla back then?
No offense to Matthew Broderick, okay? No offense.
I enjoyed the soundtrack. There was a cool song that Puffy remixed.
Yes,
where he had this Godzilla beat. It was like...
Unfortunately, the soundtrack is the best thing about that movie.
I gotta say that's true.
You know what? Have you ever seen...
Well, there's some moments in there.
Yeah, you know what? Have you ever seen Godzilla Final Wars?
I have not.
Okay, you need to see that. That's the anniversary wrap-up.
Godzilla Final Wars?
Yes, Godzilla, the Japanese version, fights the American version. Fight lasts like 10 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, I felt good about that.
Good stuff.
Yes, indeed. So, I couldn't help but notice you talking about my Golden Age hardcover reprints.
I see. We got some great trades coming in this week.
Well, Marvel Mystery Comics. this, among other things, reprints the first awesome battle between the Submariner and the Human Torch. This is the first Marvel Comics crossover. So you get some of the other stories in the back there. They're all good, but truth, it's all about Torch versus Namor, people.
Pretty soon we would love to see that on the big screen.
Check it out. Captain America, Bucky Barnes, Airdrop, Machine Gun. What else do I have to say? You know
Cap
what?
fighting Nazis.
Yeah. Oh, hey. Cap fighting Nazis. If you can't get enough of it, and really, who can get enough of that?
Punching Adolf Hitler in the face.
Check out the back, see what all you get. Remember, Golden Age comics were thicker and had more stories in them than modern comics. So you got a bigger page count for your dime.
Yes, sir.
Which means that you don't reprint as many issues, but you get just as many pages.
Good stuff.
These hardcovers are beautiful. They look awesome on a bookshelf, and they encapsulate issues that would otherwise cost you thousands of dollars to own.
You can't really get those.
Yeah, the casual collector just really can't touch Golden Age books, and deservedly, Golden Age books are expensive. There's a reason why a Captain America #1 goes for around $1 million.
Yeah.
Print runs as high as it was, it's still just, it's not very common. It's just not very. So this makes it possible to have that.
Yeah,
But
there's something to be said about the old stuff. A lot of people are like, oh, it's old stories. They like the more contemporary.
Yeah,
nah,
you know,
son, you got to see where these characters originated from, and just
I'll give you.
There's some good material there.
I'll give you a quick piece of comic history. Not too many people know this.
Go ahead, Big Dog.
In the pages of the Marvel Comics where the Submariner fights the Human Torch, Carl Burgos was the artist of the Human Torch, and
Creator
Bill Everett.
as well as
well,
the
yes, he
Human Torch.
was.
And Bill Everett, creator of Namor.
Each artist drew the character on the same pages. So in order to maintain the artistic continuity, Carl Burgos did the Torch, Bill Everett
That's
did
awesome.
Namor.
You'll never see that anymore.
Yeah, you know, that kind of cooperation is hard to get. And I think they managed to make that battle work without making the characters look stupid.
Yeah.
You know, not necessarily easy to do in the Golden Age of comics. But, yeah, Burgos, Everett, Kirby, Simon. Yeah, it's all there.
Joe Simon, Jack Kirby, all those.
The Giants, man. The
They
Giants.
are truly the Giants.
There's a
I
reason.
may mess with you because you're an older gentleman than me, but you know we love y'all because y'all are antiques.
Well.
Y'all are classics. Y'all brought us what we love. So yeah.
So I want to hit some spotlights
Let's
here.
do it, my man.
Now, I want to talk about Captain Marvel, the final piece of The Enemy Within. Now, before I talk a little bit about who Captain Marvel is now, you know, people ask me, oh, who is this character? Is she new? No, she's actually not new. Captain Marvel is Carol Danvers.
Miss
and
Marvel.
Yes, she was formerly Ms. Marvel. Here she is in her original costume, which was very similar to Captain Marvel, the Kree space warrior who championed Earth and fought Thanos. And this is her in the Dave Cockrum costume, also known as the Lady Lightning costume. And, you know, the lightning bolt across the, you know, the breastplate. The thigh-high leather boots. Interestingly enough, I think both costumes are amazing and sexy. I like the Marvel costume, but a lot of people weren't really feeling the scarf. You know, the scarf was not working.
So y'all know I do a cosplay show. Shout out to all the wonderful female cosplayers that put on those Miss Marvel costumes. They looking really nice in those costumes. My
Love
friend.
you.
know
Love
that.
you. Y'all are necessary.
Shout out to all my friends at Superheroes, my web series. Check it out, Facebook.
So, Carol Danvers has gotten a promotion. She's now Captain Marvel. She is carrying on the legacy. She's carrying on the mantle. The stories right now involve a character from Marvel's history and bring together several plot elements of Carol Danvers' life and, you know, focus on her. She's got a brain tumor. She's unable to fly, which, of course, that's the single best part of her powers is being able to fly. That's why she joined the Air Force, was so that she could fly. And she's very good. She's an awesome pilot. She's not really liking being held back. She's pushing against the limits, trying to find creative ways to go beyond. The Enemy Within has been a very good story. It's only 5 parts. It only actually required you to follow 2 different books, Avengers Assemble and Captain Marvel. So it's over here. This is the last part. I've got most of them still here in the store. I'll put a set together for you if it's what you're looking for, and it's what you should be looking for. Now, I didn't do it last week, and I think actually I was feeling a little sick because I didn't do it last week. So I gotta do a Dynamite book. I got to talk about the Bionic Man.
Of course he does.
I'm a big fan of Colonel Steve Austin from back in the 70s, the $6 Million Man. I love what Dynamite's doing with the character. The artwork is great. The story's great. They've really updated the Bionic technology. They've ramped up the science fiction. They give us some pretty incredible interiors, like all Dynamite books, some pretty incredible interiors.
Definitely. They got some great creative teams working on the Bionic, on all the Dynamite books.
And,
Love that Mike Mayhew cover.
Well, they give us, they've given us Oscar Goldman. They've given us the Bionic Sasquatch. They continue to give us what we love. So the things that made the show great, they're there. Things that go beyond the show, they're there. So if you haven't been picking up the Bionic Man, I give it my strenuous recommendation.
Strenuous.
Yes.
There he goes.
So,
remember our drinking game whenever he says strenuous.
Yep.
Take the one to the head.
Take your shot. If you're underage, 2 fingers of milk. Now,
what else you got, brother?
DC's Vertigo.
The Wake.
Now, this is Scott Snyder's The Wake. Now, we talked about the first issue when this came out, and I'll tell you the truth. I snuck a copy home, and I read it, and I loved it. So I came back the next day and paid for it and kept it.
Only a comic book manager could do that.
You know what? It does. It has that vibe of The Thing from Another World.
Yep.
It has that vibe of Aliens. But it's Scott Snyder. He has his own style.
Yes.
He builds a character, and you very much get into the characters, and you get into what's going on. When they revealed the subsea man creature, like, well, where are you going with this? It's very, very cool. It's only up to issue 3. You're not too terribly far behind. You can come on in here and get caught up. The book is definitely well worth it.
Yeah, I think it's a 12-issue miniseries, so definitely check it out. Actually, does it say it on it?
It says
3 of 10.
3 of 10.
So it's 10 issues.
So you got 7 more to go, people. Do not snooze on this.
Definitely.
Lastly, I want to talk about this. I'm going to tell you the honest truth. Now, I like Tom Strong. I've always liked Tom Strong. I liked the character that Tom Strong was based on. He was actually a character called Doc Strange back in the Silver Age. There is an Alan Moore story from America's Best Comics. It brings Doc Strange and Tom Strong together, and they remark on each other's similarities. It's very cool.
Well, didn't Alan Moore create Tom Strong?
Well, lifting him from other elements. But he did a very good job of, like with the Watchmen, taking an archetype and making a unique character out of the archetype.
Yep.
Tom Strong has found a home here at DC's Vertigo, so it's definitely a character that I think you'll find fun. That's the thing about the Tom Strong stories. They're always a lot of fun. They didn't take themselves too seriously. They weren't too dark. They weren't too heavy. But at the same time, they were intelligently written. They took advantage of that simpler time in comics, that kind of Silver Age mentality, and they had a little fun with it. So Tom Strong gets my nod, even without Alan Moore at the helm. As much as I love Alan Moore writing anything. Alan Moore, please come back and give me some comics.
So your strenuous recommendation?
That's my other strenuous
there
recommendation.
There you go. Take it to the head again.
See? Dude, strenuous, Herculean.
Yeah,
you need to be on top of Tom Strong, number 1.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really digging the fact with Jim Lee as one of the heads over there at DC Entertainment.
Yes.
How when he came into the fold, how a lot of his homage and Wildstorm titles that he had over at Image are now being brought into the fold. We've seen the Wildcats characters. We've seen Tom Strong. We've seen Supreme. Not Supreme. Mr. Majestic.
Majestic. Yeah.
Just the amount of voodoo she was part of the New 52 when that launched. Grifter. Just a lot of great characters. I love how they're bringing them in. And as you said, I think what they did, especially with the Wildstorm, and that I think there was like an offshoot America's Best Comics where he brought in like the Alan Moore, some of your bigger writers, and that was part of the Wildstorm universe, but where it was written in the old classic, the very old school style, exactly. Which had
you were on a roll.
I didn't want to stomp on you. I feel you. Because a lot of it was done in the very modern way, but those guys know how to write classic.
Well,
tales,
the thing is, they appreciate,
kind of material
they love
with
and appreciate exactly. Yes. They feel that. It harkens back to a simpler time in comics, and there's a reason why people love classic Silver Age books.
Definitely.
And it's certainly a reason why I love them. Do I find Silver Age books in your collection at home? If I go pawing through your boxes at home,
when you come to the crib, you'll see.
How many copies of Amazing Fantasy 15 do you have?
Hey, we ain't gonna go there. That is actually the book I don't have. That's one of the books I really would love to have. I know he thinks I'm Mr. Big Money Pocket Man, but that's the one book that would be the prize of my collection. So any of you all out there that can help me out with Amazing Fantasy 15, I'd really appreciate it.
It would help him complete the set because he's got 1 through 14.
There he goes. So, in regards to Tom Strong, I want y'all to take another shot. That gets a strenuous recommendation from me. I just wanted to say strenuous. Strenuous! I'm getting people drunk on this episode, man.
I know, right?
All right, now to show you the best picks of the week. You know, I always have the top picks that are going to top Mr. Troy David Phillips books. Let me show you mine. First up, I have from Dark Horse Comics, Captain Midnight. I'm not very familiar with the character, as I'm not a classic old school guy like this guy over here who can probably really break it down to you. I just know that it looks super cool. I've read some of the write-ups on this guy coming back. From what I understand, they're actually kind of just taking it from its past work, the old style books, and bringing that character into contemporary time. So he's kind of like a Captain America in a way. Where
very similar to
taking him from there, and now he's trying to make his way in our timeline. So that's intriguing to me. I love that kind of man out of fish out of water type story, and with this kind of old school guy, just like what we love about Captain America.
There we go.
This looks pretty sweet, and Dark Horse does a pretty damn good job. With this also, when you go back to the front, this is part of the whole Project Black Sky. If we can, show them back at the front. I think they have some pretty nifty stuff that they're going to do, mirroring what Dynamite did with bringing a lot of those old school characters back.
The Needor characters.
I think there's something big going on over at Dark Horse.
Well, they talked about
like they did last week with the Catalyst comics. They brought us that back. I think we got some stuff in the works, and Captain Midnight probably is one of those significant issues that you should look out for. Well, with them bringing a lot of their superheroes back.
Take a breath. Dark Horse was doing a thing called Comics Greatest World.
Yes, sir.
And so they were showing us Ghost and X and Captain Midnight and Catalyst Comics. So yeah, they're putting something together. I think Dynamite. Dark Horse is starting a big push. So you're going to see some incredible things coming from them. Captain Midnight, chief among them. Yeah. If you're like me and you like those Silver Age characters, but in a more modern context, then this is a good place for you to be.
Definitely. I think because one of the things about Dark Horse, and when you talk about the companies, you break it down, Dark Horse wasn't really known for, well, at least in recent years, their superhero product.
Right.
They're known for more like Steve Niles, their horror product, with 30 Days of Night. Just a lot of their other type of titles.
Well, they also
didn't have that superhero stuff going on.
They had the various licensed characters. They picked up
the licensed characters.
Dr. Solar, Star Wars, Conan.
Yes.
They've actually balanced that throughout their history. Because even back in the day when it was Concrete and Black Cross and Mercy Sinclair.
You had your Sin City that came out of there. Frank Miller had it originally there.
Exactly.
300. Was there.
Hard Boiled was theirs
Hard
too,
Boiled
wasn't
that
it?
Was
that
Check that out, Jeff Darrow.
You just
Frank
don't
Miller.
get to hear about that one often enough.
For any of you younger generation fans that are watching this, if there's anything that we could really strenuously recommend, remember for you young ones, that's 2 shots of milk.
Yes.
Definitely check out Hard Boiled. If you're an upcoming artist, when I was a little young artist, looking for stuff that would incite that creative gene in me flowing, Hard Boiled was one of those. It was just, you couldn't just look at the page and just flip over. You had to study that page for a good 5 to 10 minutes, and just, there were so many Easter eggs within the art itself that Jeff Darrow would put in his pencils. One of those ultra detailed artists that I really admire and that I learned a lot from. Definitely check out Hard Boiled if you're an artist, and I think you'll love it. Strenuously recommend that one. Take another shot.
If you're not an artist, you still
you still enjoy it. Sorry, it's written by Frank Miller.
Yeah, so
you can't go wrong.
How can that be bad?
Exactly. Well, we have seen the Spirit film, and that wasn't all.
Hey, he didn't write that.
Well, it's just I was a little upset about it. I loved it visually. That's another great film, much like Sin City. That was great visually. Well, but Sin City was well done. I really loved Sin City.
Well, yeah.
But Spirit, I was disappointed.
Well,
wanted a better story.
The thing is with the Spirit, you just have to watch it and enjoy it. You have to take it as fun, such as it is. It's not Will Eisner's character, but it's a fun film.
Yeah, you gotta love Samuel L. Jackson in there, rolling in the S.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna say the words, but there's some stuff. But let me get back to my picks.
Yes.
All right.
What you gonna show me now?
Going on the whole artist tip that I'm bringing to you this week, Batman #1 Director's Cut. What I love about these Director's Cut books from DC is they give you the original line art pages, accompanied with some of the word bubbles are there, but it's really all about the art. Giving you some of these fresh Greg Capullo pencils so you can see exactly how much detail he lays down in his pencil prior to the inks, prior to the colors being done there digitally. It's just some good stuff, man. I love these director's cut books.
Can we go back just a couple pages?
Go
here?
ahead, my brother.
I want to point out. I was having a conversation with a couple of customers. Now flatten out a little bit there, and if we can
Okay.
get just a bit of the top. You see, this is the artist Bristol board. Someone had asked me, do artists actually draw on paper anymore? Is there any more pencil and paper, or is everything digital and computerized? Yes, there's still living art talent that goes into what you see. The inking and the coloring and the rendering processes are much more sophisticated. Yes, you get deeper colors, you get greater textures, you get that kind of feel that you couldn't have gotten 40 years ago, but it is still very much a guy's hand holding a drawing implement and putting it on paper. So that's real. There's soul in these pages.
Yeah, I will say though, with this, you are seeing some word balloons that were done digitally with computers, but the bulk here is the fresh pencils straight from Greg Capullo, minus the inks. Y'all know I used to run my Temple Studios, and I used to have all my guys turn in their pages, and then we'd scan them up, then send it off to the inker, then to the colorist. There are still real pencilers going to Kubert School, going to SCAD. It takes certain artists can do a page in a day. Some artists they can knock out 5 pages in a day. But yeah, I will say there is a lot of people gravitating towards the whole digital format because it's easier, it's cleaner. They use Wacom tablets that are hooked up to the computer where they can easily pencil onto that Wacom tablet, much like a page, see it on the screen. They don't like something, they can easily erase it and fix it. So it's where we're moving to as a generation, as art creators are in style. But there is still some classic.
There is. It's very much, even with the digital technology, even with the computerization, with all of the renovation, with the revolution rather, it's still very much you must have talent to do this.
You do.
You can't just be a hack. Believe me, these guys have amazing skills. A piece of paper and a pencil, and they can turn out something amazing. So there's technology, and it makes things somewhat easier, but don't discount what they bring to the table.
Definitely. So definitely, if you're an artist and you're a fan of Greg Capullo, check out Batman #1 Director's Cut, another one of my recommendations of the week. Last but not least, I'm going to hold up 2. I'm going to give 1 to my man Troy David Phillips over here. We have Guardians of the Galaxy #5. We have 2 great issues, this being the variant cover by Scotty Young and the regular edition. What I love about this issue is we're getting another great character from the Image comic books that has there's actually a lot of history to this whole thing. If you'll recognize, this is Angela, who's now in the Marvel Universe. You'll remember her from Spawn at Image Comics. Angela was created by writer Neil Gaiman, who you know from Sandman, who you know from Give Me Some Help Here.
Dude, Sandman, just stop right there.
You know what I'm saying? Enough needs to be said with Sandman. Spawn was... Angela was created by Neil Gaiman for Spawn. Angela was a Spawn hunter within the Image comic book storyline. But then after a while, there were some problems between Todd McFarlane and writer Neil Gaiman in regards to the rights and ownership of the character that led to a legal fight between the 2 creators. And
I usually just politely call it a schism.
A schism.
Yeah.
But
I know they don't want us airing all their dirty laundry.
Y'all know, but y'all know I'm the insider guy, being industry guy.
Yeah, and I'm the guy that brings some class to the act.
There he goes, hitting me out of the face. But people know I give them the dope, the real. So anyway, Angela's no longer involved with Spawn. Angela's now in Marvel Comics, and if you want to know why, and this is going to be the cause for them to pick up the book. You want to know why Angela is at Marvel now, then you need to pick up the pages of Guardians of the Galaxy to see why.
Well,
and
you
why
need to
this
pick up...
former hunter is now in the pages of Guardians of the Galaxy.
If you weren't reading it, you need to pick up the final issue of Age of Ultron, Age of Ultron number 10.
There you go.
And
Spotlight.
then follow along.
Yes, because she did make her appearance there.
Yes, indeed. And
Her comeback.
We're starting to really see the elements from the new Avengers, Thanos Rising, Age of Ultron, Age of Ultron AI. We're seeing all of these events start to come together. I'm starting to see how there'll be an involvement from the Inhumans. Thanos is a central bad guy. Ex Nihilo from out of the Avengers. There's a conflict between the Submariner and the Black Panther right now, and that conflict is. It's unfortunate in its timing. It's like we don't have time for two of the greats of the Marvel Universe to be going head to head. Thanos is, stirring up the pot. You get it together. We need to be on the same page. I think this is pretty much where Brian Michael Bendis is going to, show us. Yep, here you go.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm really curious of this whole introduction. So that's why Guardians of the Galaxy number 5 gets my strenuous recommendation for this week. To just see how Angela's going to fold into this universe. She's a pretty badass character. And if you want to see a badass cosplayer that cosplayed as Angela, check out All My Friends Are Superheroes, my web series where I interview Terry Moreno McClellan, a.k.a. TC Dangerous, well-known cosplayer. She's done them all. Beautiful lady. And I have her all in her Angela outfit on episode, I think it was 3. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, All My Friends Are Superheroes.
Well, now, before we close out, I just want to... Did you know that this week, July 29th...
Yes.
July 29th was the birthday of artist Dave Stevens.
Dave Stevens, Rocketeer man.
Dave Stevens, who gave us the Rocketeer.
Yes, sir. I want that helmet. I want it.
You can't have it. It belongs to the Rocketeer. It goes with the
I'm going
Rocket
to find
Man.
it. There's some cosplayers out there that have some amazing Rocketeer helmets that, if you're out there listening, let me know how much. I'll give you the money. I want a Rocketeer helmet for my home office.
What I have here is a copy of the special edition of the Rocketeer. I was looking for
He's such an amazing artist, isn't he?
Well, he is. He really was. And
such classic
He
style.
certainly reinvigorated the career of Betty Page. I think without him,
sexy that Betty Page
she really was. And yet, so few people knew of her at the time of the Rocketeer. He really kind of brought her back into the limelight.
Oh yeah.
It was amazing. And I know that they had, a friendly relationship, a very respectful friendship that came out of that. But unfortunately, Dave Stevens lost a battle with hairy cell leukemia.
Yeah.
It was taken away from us entirely too young.
Yes.
But the Rocketeer, I had to mention it because it was his birthday this week.
Definitely.
And,
definitely.
Yeah, I observed a moment of silence myself. I'm sure you did too. Just forgot to tell me.
Most definitely. And, being an actor myself, Dennis Farina, who you've known him, he's been in a lot of movies. He's was a former cop before he became an actor. He recently passed away. So rest in peace to Dave Stevens, to Dennis Farina. Thank you so much for your body of work.
Yes, indeed. An awesome body of work from both.
Definitely.
Two completely different forms of entertainment, but very entertaining.
And very inspiring. All right. I think we got it all for this week. New films coming out. We always want to add some extra stuff. I'm getting ready to go see Smurfs 2 with my little one. Are you a Smurfs fan?
You know what? I was too old to really appreciate the Smurfs when I was a kid. I kind of graduated past them a little bit. I was really more a Pirates of Darkwater kind of guy around.
I like Pirates of Darkwater.
I did too.
Yeah.
I did too.
What came out this past week since my last episode? You saw Pacific Rim. Did you go see the Wolverine?
I did not yet. That's on my list of things to do.
All right. So by next week, you check that out so we can talk about
it. I like it when the crowd...
I'm really curious about your thoughts.
Well, I like it when the crowd dies down a little bit and I watch the movie with a little bit less distraction from the audience. I can get more into what I'm seeing.
Because he's one of those crotchety old men that be like, hey, quiet down there in the front. That's this guy.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. That's this guy. But hey, I'm with you on there, because if y'all talking at the movie while I'm trying to watch it, and if you're playing with your phone and you have it on, and I'm trying to, it's supposed to be black in the theater.
Goodness.
I don't want to see this phone over on 2 aisles up while I'm trying to watch the movie.
People,
it's distracting.
Turn your phones off.
Please, there's no respect.
Yeah, really. You know what? Those little screens are distracting.
Yes, sir.
It's bothersome. Whatever it is, you can tweet it later. It'll still be on Facebook. You'll get your email. You can text it. It can wait till the end of the movie. Please.
And please, why are you bringing your kids to these to Wolverine? To the person that brought the kid to the Wolverine, the little baby. They're not watching the Wolverine. Why'd you bring him in? They're crying, and you're just still sitting there like he's going to shut up any moment now. I have kids. I'm respectful. I will take my kid out. I know in the first place not to bring him to see the Wolverine. Let's talk about that.
Well, hey, people hear comic book movie, comic book character, and they think that it's automatically okay. And
Come on now.
for the parents that really don't know,
Please.
there is such a thing as age appropriateness in some of these films.
Preach.
Dark Knight is not a movie for kids, even though it has Batman.
Preach.
This is not a cartoony Batman. So you really need to do just a little bit of research. When I'm selling comics here in the store, I am more than happy to tell a parent, this is good for a kid, this is a little too sophisticated, this definitely is too mature, whatever. Too much bloodshed, too much, violence for a child.
Exactly.
Comic books and comic book movies are very, very similar.
Yes.
Yes, Man of Steel is a Superman movie, but it might be a little too advanced
yeah.
for a younger viewer.
My daughter wants to see that, but I can't let her see that. I wanted it. My wife and I, we go to see movies first.
Yes.
Before we bring the child.
Yeah,
To make sure it's appropriate. She can't see that yet.
Yeah, I mean,
she's 5. She shouldn't be seeing that.
They're not everything is a Disney movie.
Yes.
There's a reason that these things have ratings, and and you need to do a little bit of research in that. In terms of the comic books, hey, I'll be happy to help a parent out. But when it comes to films, well, I don't work in the movie industry, so you have to do a little research on your own. But understand that it's research that really will be important. These are things you have to talk about and figure out for yourself. What kids watch is very important.
Very important. And that's all for this week.
Yeah,
We'll get off our soapbox, but that riled me up, though, man. I'm serious. I'm tired of the person with the baby at the Wolverine. You don't take a baby to see the Wolverine. You don't have your screen up while you're watching a movie. You're there to watch a movie, not be on Facebook. Come on now.
Yeah, really.
Did you have those guys at Pacific Rim?
No, actually, Pacific Rim was pretty well behaved, but it was a week after it was released, so you know I got some of that nonsense.
That's some knuckleheads, man. All y'all knuckleheads, y'all better watch it. Karma's a bitch.
So, you ready to take home some Masterworks and look at some Golden Age comics?
I'm ready to take that Walking Dead with the zombie baby in there with Governor. That's pretty sweet.
Oh, I'm sorry, I sold that one.
Oh, there you go. Now, we got some additional ones in store. That one's coming with me, but we have like 5 other ones. I saw the box. We got y'all. So come to Flashback. We got the great books for you. We got these great graphic novels for you. We got all the new releases. We're here for you every day. This guy will be here giving you the great deals.
Yes, indeed.
Let's tell them how to leave out of here.
Okay. You need to like us on Facebook.
Like us on Facebook.
Follow us on Twitter.
Follow us on Twitter.
And subscribe to us on YouTube.
Subscribe on YouTube. I am Patrick Michael Strange. This is
Troy David Phillips.
And we're out of here.